Today I'm bending time and space with polymer clay and creating a clock so unique it might just tick in reverse. Allons-y! To give the clay something to help it adhere to the wooden tray, I applied a copious amount of liquid Sculpey and I brushed it on, making sure that it covered every area of the top, and then I applied sheets of clay to the top and blended it all together. With a pasta roller and a lot of elbow grease later, I get it covered and then I trim down the sides using my X-Acto knife. Before I get started on the actual design, I mark where I want my clock to go using an embroidery hoop, and then I cut out a hole where I want the clock mechanism to go. Before I move on, I make sure that the clock mechanism fits. I did a quick tracing to get a basic idea of where I wanted each of the elements to go. Then using some sheets of clay, I start to build up that big giant swirl right in the middle. Once I have my swirly shapes in place, I take one of my metal tools and I start creating that swirly texture that kind of replicates the paint texture of the Starry Night. Next, I begin the long, tedious journey of creating little bitty marks in the base of my clay to replicate that paint texture in the sky, while occasionally stopping to make some swirls to represent the stars in the sky. Then I go back to making more tiny marks in my clay and occasionally breaking up the monotony by removing a bubble, and then I go back to making more tiny marks in my clay until the sky is completely finished. Next, I finish off the entire sky by adding some little swirly bits around the moon, and then I build up the moon a little bit with some clay to create a 3D element and add more little swirly bits. To make sure that I didn't build up the Tardis clay too much, I removed where I wanted the Tardis to go, so I got a nice smooth space and then placed a sheet of clay in the shape of the Tardis. Then I start to build up the shape of the Tardis, trying to make it a little bit thicker right at the point, and then I use my clay blade to help thin down the areas that are farther back to help create that forced perspective. Once I'm happy with my Tardis shape, I take some strips of clay and I apply them to the base to create the baseboards. Then I use one of my spoon tools to help shape out the windows and the side detailings of the walls of the Tardis. I take another strip of clay to create that center window frame piece, which you'll notice is a little bit thinner in this next shot, and then I create the other window panes by adding some more strips of clay. Then I just zip right through and finish off the rest of the Tardis wall detailing. I then take a flat edge tool to help create those nice clean lines at the top of the Tardis. I blend them in really nicely, and then I take some more triangle shaped pieces of clay to help make that pyramid top that the Tardis has. I use my clay blade to help make those lines a little cleaner. I top it off by adding a little ball of clay to the very top of the Tardis and create that light shaping and the detailing with a ball tool. Then I take some more strips of clay to create a little bit of frame to the base, and then I blend it in. To finish off the Tardis, I add some strips of clay to create the signs on the top and on the door. Moving on to the actual clock, I take these little plastic numbers and press them firmly into my clay in the appropriate spaces that the numbers would go. Then I attach the hands to the clock just to make sure that they have plenty of space to go around the clock without any obstructions. Lastly, to finish off the entire design, I really wanted it to say wibbly wobbly timey wimey on it, so I marked out in my clay where I wanted those words to go. Then I took some clay noodles and placed them right on top of each of the letters, making sure that I got it as close to how I wanted it, blending them in as best I can, and then added a little bit of texture to each of the letters before I baked it. Now that it's baked, I can begin to paint, and I start by using a very pale yellow around the moon and on the moon as well as the stars. Then I build up to a pale orange and then add some little streaks of red right around the outside of the moon. I accidentally made it a little too orange, so I added some bright little yellow streaks around the moon and stars as well. Once I was finished with the moon and the stars, I start with a base of a dark blue and then I build up with some mediums and light blues on top of it while the blue is still wet, so it kind of blends in and creates this nice starry night effect that Van Gogh is known for. Then for the Starry Night swirl here, I use a mixture of different types of light blues and then I finish it up with some little white streaks on top. Next I move on to the Tardis and I paint the entire blue portion of the Tardis a Tardis shade of blue. I also dry brushed a little bit of yellow highlights on the side of the Tardis, then cleaned up the windows by painting the edges of it nice white, while also painting the sign white as well. Next, I add black to the signs right above the windows. I add some pale yellow to the windows to make it look like there's some light shining from the inside. Then, to contrast the dark blue of the sky, I paint each of the letters a nice shade of white. Because I didn't have a small enough paintbrush to write the lettering on the top of the Tardis, I just used a ball tool for the police box and my needlepoint tool for the public call, because even my ball tool was too big for that part. For the black lettering, I just used the finest marker that I had to fill in that sign on the side of the Tardis. Because the numbers that I bought were gold, I didn't think that they would stand off of the moon area well enough, so I painted all of the numbers black and then glued them into the appropriate number-shaped space that I had previously placed into my clay before baking. Next, I screw in the actual clock mechanism and then attach the hands to the front of the clock mechanism and making sure they're nice and secure. And just when I thought I was finished, I realized I'd never attached the picture frame hook on the back, so here I am marking where I want it to go. And let me tell you, this really should be done at the beginning because it is very hard to screw these screws in when gravity keeps wanting to pull your screws to the ground. Now that I got my frame hook in place, it's time for the Glamour Shots. And there you have it, a wibbly wobbly timey-wimey clock. If you like the Starry Night mashup designs, check out some of my other videos and remember to stay crafty.